up, everybody? Yeah. We'll see who pops in. I don't know what we're going to build tonight, but we'll build something. I can do this from over here. Let's see. There we go. Ah, boom. Okay. Well, I can see that my looks like I was getting off the evil fucking glare there. I need to clean my lens a little bit. There, that's a little bit better. Sorry about that, guys. Oh, even though no one's here yet, it's just me, so I think I'll decide what to build. I'll leave that there. Let's see. What do I want? What do I want? I don't know what I want yet. Nobody's showing up yet. This is odd. What's up, Rick James? How's it going? Excellent. Glad you're having a good night. Was having a good night. Pretty sure I still am. Thinking about it, well, planning on it, I just don't know what yet. What's up, John? I just don't know what I want to build yet. Yeah, I know what I want, I just don't have the lumber. That's tomorrow. Ugh. Oh no, I can't do that. I don't have these freaking hinges. What's up, Johnny? I don't have any more hinges. sure don't. I am fresh out of hinges. What the hell? This is not... Let me see. And... There it be. Okay. Damn it. Fuck you, ass. That's not what I want. I want that one. There we go. That'll work. Oh, that'll do, I guess. Oh, man. So what's everybody up to tonight? Well, besides watching me, of course. I go 16. Again, I'm just trying to do this just off of the top of my head here. A little wide. Let's see. this, oh, let's say, we'll go 16 inches wide. So I'm working on a different style of wine holder tonight. Yeah. Okay, I think I can cut that down to 12. This will be just fine. Yeah. Cut that down to 12. Okay, then that will be another piece just like this. Man, everybody's so quiet tonight. I ain't used to that. I have right size Forstner bit. Yeah, okay. So, this is 12, so 6. And this is maybe 3.5, yep. 1.75, 1 3/4. Oh, I need a piece of scrap. Ton of fucking scrap. Shit, I don't want to. Okay. There it is. I will use this. This is nothing. So good. I think everyone's a little tired. We'll go with the other one. Remember how big this one is? Well, good, Johnny. Perfect. Okay. 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 I was about ready to ask if anybody had big plans for the weekend, but the weekend's over. I had to work all weekend, so it's not like I got much of a weekend in. But at least I have tomorrow off of work, so that's a good thing. Tomorrow I plan on going and getting some more lumber because my daughter's birthday party is coming up this weekend, or next Sunday, so 6 days from now. And I wanted to, and I got people coming over because this is the first time I've been able to be in a house with her birthday. I've always been in apartments, so I wanted to throw a birthday party for her this year. To do it outside. I wanted to build a picnic table so that way my guests have somewhere to sit and eat. So we'll see if I can get that done tomorrow. I don't know. No idea where that little square went to. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, shoot. That's okay. That's okay. I'm pretty sure I can eyeball it. Or use a level. What's up, Chris? I'm doing good. No, you really can't see what I'm working on because I'm used to going in vertical and now I'm not, so damn it. Oh, that's level there. Damn it. There. I wish I was, Chris. I wish I was. But I really don't drink, so. Although I do remember what it was like. She's doing good. Thank you for asking. She's back at work. You know, just a little bit of a heart scare, so she's, you know, we both have to watch our diets and everything and all that jazz. Yeah, I do enjoy a nice margarita once in a while, a decent cocktail, but nothing quite like I used to do. That's for sure. Inches. There we go. Go 2.5 inches on each side. Reinforce. I'm in it, Chris. Yeah. Whole lot more space here, buddy. Hey there, Joseph. Thank you for stopping by. What am I making? I am making a new style of wine holder that I haven't done before. It's not a planter. Yep, I am not making a planter right now. I know everyone's going to be shocked on that one. Banner, thank you for being here. It could be, yes. It could be a planter, but it isn't. I always say that anything can be a planter if you're smart enough. Hey there, Craig. Just making a little simple wine holder. Nothing fancy. Hey there, Wes. Thank you for stopping by. Always appreciate it. Perfect. I'm good. How are you? Hi there, pappies. I don't even know how many people are. Oh, 14. 14 of you people in here right now. Well, awesome. Ain't that something? I don't know, Craig. I should probably do it soon. Son of a biscuit. Naturally. Oh, awesome. Well, if you do come anywhere near Des Moines, you're more than welcome to come over to my little shop, I guess. My shop, such as it is. Hello there, Emily. Brian, thank you for stopping in. what I want. It's my design, after all. So I need one that is 4 and a little over 16. I bet you are. I wouldn't want to. I don't know if I'd want to travel that far with a table either. I don't envy you on that one, Craig. Hola, pelado. You'll survive. Oh yeah, I know who Coyote Peterson is. I watch him from time to time. Torch, 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 all day long. Torch, 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 while I sing this song. having fun out there? Watch me torch this? Okay, well, so here we are. We have this nifty little wine holder, and you got space up here to slide a couple of glasses in. And you can either, put some keyhole slots in the back so you can hang it on the wall, or you can set it on a counter, whatever. And then you could even, and I thought about doing it, but I've never done it yet, but slide in a couple of drawers right here to hold corks. I think that would look really sharp if the front of the drawers were chicken wire. Cedar. I gotta start. And it's just high enough to where the glasses will fit nice and easily in there. Hang down probably right about here, enough space there, but enough room that you can slide the wine bottle in and out with ease. Good one, Pilato. Who's stressing who out? Where's the corkscrew go? You could, actually I would put in a little tiny magnet bar on the side, and then you can just right there. So I'd say 35, 40 bucks, whatever your local market does. You know? Well, why not? What other kind of shenanigans could I get up to? Let's see. Hey there, Mims. have this old mirror here that it has seen better days. I've seen better days. Sit in my handy dandy shop chair that I made the other day. There we go. Now that you guys can somewhat see me. There. Okay. Well, what I can do is cut some strips. Ow. I did, finally decided to sit. Okay. Night, Johnny. Hey there, Cameroni Pepperoni. Okay. No. Okay. Well, let's all behave, everybody. Some of us are civilized. Others, not so much. Hold on, guys. I got a baby crying upstairs, so I'll be right back. Sorry about that, guys. Yeah, except I'm the only one that she's got, so I really can't stay down here. I think she's crying just to cry, you know? Plus, her nose was running earlier, so I have a feeling that she's getting sick. Yay me. Anyway. Now I've been wanting to do something with this broken mirror for a little while. Sorry, I just got lost in thought. But if I do these at 45. Okay. Let's see. So I need 1, 2, 3, 4 more of these. I need them all. Okay.
Sorry, I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
No,
It looks like an issue with the router and Echo device, so try restarting them. Unplug both of them, then plug the router back in. Wait 30 seconds. Once the router is back on and connected to the internet, plug in the Echo device.
Be with y'all in just a moment. Okay. What the hell did you do? What the hell did you do, Emily? Don't make me unmod you. Oh, damn, Emily. Running off my viewers. I can't have that. You're the one who done gone crazy, girl. It's only 3 more of these. Naturally. Damn it. Ugh. Okay. Should have all my pieces cut now. And you guys are all still being just a very quiet bunch. Do I have to start dancing or something? Trust me, nobody wants to see that. I just want to see what this looks like before I get anybody else's opinion. I don't know if I'll like it, but I'll find out. Obviously, I'm going to have to do some finishing techniques and whatever. And, well, someone has to talk to me. Ain't no one else talking to me, so I gotta talk to myself. You know? No, I don't, Emily. I haven't watched that for many, many years. Yeah, I watched it during that time. He was never my favorite. Okay. I like that, I think. I'll find out. So, what I got... Ric Flair? Hell no. That was annoying. Mick Foley. I was always a really big fan of Mick Foley. Yeah. Alright, so I had this old mirror that I've had for a while, but it got like dropped or whatever, so I got like it cracked along the sides and up in the edges. And I just didn't have the heart to throw it out yet because it's still a really good mirror. So I guess we could watch. Here, you can watch me watching you. So, when I just did a bunch of cutting, and kind of came up with a design that I like. Let me get this all laid out here. That way I can show it to you guys. And obviously it's not like all lined up and everything. I'm gonna do that when I go to put it together. Because it's all gonna be glued down. And looking nice and everything. I just didn't know if you guys, if anybody out there would think if this would be a good design. So let me move my camera here. Sorry about that, guys. And we are going to flip this around and voila. What do you guys think of that? Covers up all the cracked, broken pieces. You still get the outline of the mirror bevels and on the inside. That's a nice, I just didn't know if these pieces were too big or if I should cut them down a little bit. I knew that would get somebody's attention. Yeah, I think if I just threw some poly on that or something, that might actually just turn out rather nice. Downside is that's going to take a lot of glue. I think too. I like it like that. It gives a little bit of texture to it, a little bit of chunkiness. Still rustic, but a little modern. I think if I just spray those with some shellac and call it a day, then obviously, I'll sand down the edges so they're not quite so rough. I can find my damn sanding blocks. Still have not, really. Like, I moved my whole entire shop, but I have not organized it really all that much, so I just kind of got stuff everywhere. Hello, Cheryl. You know what? I am not going to stand my ass up there and hand sand all these things when I got my handy dandy chair that is going to slide out from underneath. Well, I wouldn't expect any other thing from you, Mike. Ah, come on, fat ass, Jesus. So, we're going to sit here and talk. So, tomorrow I'm hoping to start working on that picnic table. Not really, Cheryl. I mean, it's okay. I didn't do the best job on it. I know where I messed up. So I'll build me a better chair and make it better. And then I'll let you see it. But as long as the weather holds out, I will go outside and it is working. It is holding me up, but it does roll. But I didn't make it. I didn't put it to where the wheels were set far enough apart to where when I sit on it, it doesn't like try and tip forward because of my weight distribution. I'll put it that way. That's a nice way of calling myself fat. Hello, Carol. You know, Carol, I gotta tell you, okay? So, my mom's name is Carol, and I was watching your video the other day, and you got the same, hairstyle that she has. And she is actually the one who taught me how to sew and crochet and do all that. So it's kind of like watching my mom when I watch you. And it makes it fun. And I don't get to see my mom all that often, so it makes me miss her just a little bit less. So what I'm working on right now is I have this old mirror that it got dropped when I was moving, and it cracked along the edges. So it like cracked like right along here and along there. And it's still a really nice mirror on the inside of it, so I didn't want to throw it out. So what I did was I designed, obviously I'm sanding it, but that this wood border to go around, which is going to cover up all the cracked areas, but still allow the mirror to be usable. And then I'll throw it up on Marketplace and see what I can get for it. because that is something I really enjoy doing. I haven't thought of it. It's something that, you know, I might look into in the future. Shalom, Opath. I mean, so really like reusing stuff and like turning something old into something, you know, beautiful again is something I really enjoy doing. And this is what I got into in the first place to do, because I was going to be flipping furniture, old furniture at first. But it takes up so much space, and that's why, you know, I've tried to have my garage sale to get rid of all that shit. And then I just, it was so much work to like go and find pieces and everything, and there's not a huge return on it, so I didn't want to spend a lot of hours working on one piece just for it to just, you know, not pan out. And I gotta plug my phone in. There we go. Hello, hi back. I mean, it's. I don't know, I just didn't get into it like I thought I would. I really enjoy doing this. If I'm going to do furniture, I'm gonna want to build it myself, you know. And so I'd rather, if I'm going to redo anything, I'd rather it to be. Find your center. I'd rather it be something that I'm gonna make myself. And if it's something that I'm going to redo, then I'm going to do something small. But I didn't want to make that my whole thing either, because I didn't want to spend all my time going to like Goodwill and all that, and just to maybe find the right one or two pieces. So if I have to come across something and I think I can make it really awesome, then yeah, I'll do it. But I'm not going to go out searching for it. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? You pick it up when I'm laying down. Ah, sugar, ah, honey, honey, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. There is nothing wrong with the word patina. I love that word, because honestly, old copper is one of my favorite things ever. I just love copper. But not the bright, shiny stuff. Like I like the old copper. Yeah, I got a thing of stripper. I don't have a stripper. I got a bottle of stripper. And I did strip a couple of pieces, and I'm just like, oh god, this is too much freaking work. I don't want to do this. Mike, are you having an okay night? Does someone need a hug? Can we all mentally just send out one great big group hug to Mike? There we go. Ah, okay. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, I got like 5,000 notifications here. Check this out. Hi. Oh, that turned out really nice. Hi back. I really need to. I always forget to stop clicking off of that screen. God damn. It turned out really nice though. I love it. Was that like a custom order, or is that for yourself, or what? I'm just staring at the screen. Look at that TV right there. And now you guys are seeing my freaking, marketplace curb fine back there. But it works, And the only thing it cost me was a little bit of gas. Sweet. How much you get for them, or do you not? Do you mind saying, or if you want to keep that private, that's fine. Yeah, I mean, the only thing that in here that I actually went and bought for to make my shop work was the lumber to build my benches. That was it. All the other little cabinets and floor cabinets that I have, there was 2 cabinets that were already here, and the rest I just got off a marketplace. And it was actually at one place. They had a shit ton. I guess that they were just clearing out the garage or anything. The only thing, it was just that gray cabinet over there was the only thing that I got from a different place. Everything else was all in one place. So I was like, kick ass. Ah, honey, ah, sugar, sugar, you are my candy girl, and you got me wanting you. Ah, sugar, ah, honey, honey, I don't know why that song is in my head. I really need to turn the fucking station. That is a damn good job, Highback. Wow. How'd you find it? Like, I mean, were you just advertising on Marketplace, or how'd you do it? I'm interested. Tell me. I really want to know these things. I did watch Cake Boss, but I found that guy just insufferable, so I couldn't. That's awesome, Highback. Cakes I did like better. Duff was actually a whole lot more relatable to me than Buddy was. I don't know. For whatever reason, Buddy was just. I couldn't stand him. Well, not only that, Mims, but I am just a cool guy to hang around anyway. Love it, Mims. That's awesome. Come here. I have to go find my shellac. I think it's upstairs. I shall be right back, guys. Well, that's not where it was. Where the hell did it go? It's right here. Definitely got to make it bladder. So I think most of you know, I know you all know that I'm a chef, but I think most of you know, like, where I work at. And if you don't, I work um, for a retirement community as their executive chef at one of the properties of this big company. Anyway, so, I love my job. I do. The one downside is, you're around a lot of these residents, all the time because, you're basically in their home. And you get to know them. So when one of them passes away, because that's inevitable with life. I mean, that's just how it is. Then I mean, it just affects you. I mean, it's obviously I don't think of them as family because that'd just be silly. But I do see them all the time, so they become a decent chunk of my everyday life. So when they're not there all of a sudden, it just it hurts. And you eventually always do come across some of the residents that you do care more about than others. And I'm only bringing this up because this one resident that I adored. I mean, he was just he was just really nice, and he always just had nothing but nice things to say all the time about anything. I mean, even when he complained about something about the food, he wasn't really ever complaining. He was just, making an observation. And unfortunately, because my sister works in the same place I do. She's a CNA there. So if anybody knows a CNA out there, thank them for what they do. They do a tireless, thankless job. But anyway, and so she comes home last night, and she's just like, or this morning, she's like, by the way, in case you wanted to go see him, he's probably not going to last the day, so you might want to stop down there and go say your goodbyes. And of course, I get to work this morning, and I'm all busy, starting out my day, and just like I will stop down there after I get done delivering the lunchtime meals that I have to deliver. So I get down there, I get done delivering, and I get down there, and I never go down to that part of the community. So, like, the CNAs are just like, oh, who are you looking for? And I say who I'm looking for, and they're just like, oh, well, he just passed away. So it's like, it just sucks, Like, I really meant to, like, get down there and go see him and everything, but just didn't make it in time. And it just sucks, And Mims, you're right. It's okay to call them friends because that's what they are. They are my friends. They're a big part of my everyday life, and obviously I'm a big part of their lives. So, and of course, when I went down in there, the family was all in there, so I didn't want to bother them. So I'll wait until after the funeral service or the celebration of life or whatever it is they're planning on doing, and then I will go see his widow and give her my comfort. It just when you work in a retirement community like I do, I mean, you just, and I've only been there for 3 years, so I mean, there's different levels of care. So they just, as they progress in age, I mean, as we're all aware of what happens, as one gets older, you decline physically and mentally. I mean, it's just a fact of life. So a lot of them that were in their later stages of life, I didn't know because I hadn't been there long enough, and I never go down into that part of the building. I had no reason to. But there are several people that have moved on to that being that level of care, and since I've been there, known them, and he's the first one that has passed away since I started working there. So it just, I mean, I'm like, I'm not like I'm sad about it. It's not like it. it's not gonna like keep me up at night, you know. I mean, we weren't, you know, family, you know, but you know, I still take it. Um, it stings a little bit, you know, just knowing that, you know, he's not gonna come up and eat my onion strings every day like he has been, you know. It just, um, but I think if, like obviously, you know, with HIPAA, I can't say names or anything, but I think if we all can just, um, if we can all just, you know, take a quiet moment, you know, just, you know, say a little prayer to whatever God you believe in, if you do, you know, and just, um, well, it's hard to not get attached, you know. I mean, he was just such a nice soul, you know. Um, just loved shrimp, absolutely loved shrimp, and he loved onion strings, and just, I mean, he would always just sit there and like, you know, he would introduce me to his kids if they came in and visited, and so you know, you're not, and plus his wife lived there with him, so I know I not only knew him, but I knew his wife, um, uh, and then you know, you get to talk, you get to meet their kids every once in a while, or see their kids. Um, so yeah, so I mean, it just, you know, working in that type of environment. Yeah, you're supposed to have like some kind of, hello Heather. You're supposed to have some type of like professional detachment, but it's just hard, especially with me, because you know, I make friends so easily, you know, and it is tough, and you know, and wait, in like 20 years ago, I worked in another facility, um, and you know, there was a few of those residents that, you know, had passed on, and I had, you know, uh, I'm really not crying. Seriously, my eye was itching right there. Loss is hard. You are absolutely right, Perry. Trust me, I would not shy away from crying if I had to. I'm not that, you know, fragile in my masculinity. But hell, I've cried on here before. But anyway, um, it just, so loss is hard. So if anybody is going through any type of loss right now, you know, like, I'm sorry for your loss. I wish you nothing but, you know, quick healing from your grief. And yeah, so. But I mean, and my sister's only worked there for like, I don't know, maybe like 3 months now. And she got very close to him because, you know, she's a CNA. So she was down there, you know, taking care of him. So, um, it hit her. It's hitting her just a little bit harder than it is me. But she's also been a CNA for a very long time, so she's used to, you know, this type of stuff. But so anyway. Don't worry, Mike. You know, I'm not one to like bottle up my feelings. Trust me. You know, like honestly, I really think that the older someone gets, is that the older someone gets, really the harder it is to bottle up your emotions. And I'm very sorry for your loss, Emily. I have not got it yet, Heather. So in case anybody is, they haven't been in here, what I'm working on now, well, earlier what I made was this, this wine holder, this wine bottle and glass holder. I don't have any wine glasses, but the wine bottle goes there, your glasses slide in right up there, and then I put the thing on top so that way you don't have to see the tops of the wine glasses, or the bottoms, whatever. And then the wine bottle easily comes in and out. Yep. And then I think I'm going to add in a couple of drawers down here for corks, because people like to keep corks for some god awful reason. And I think it'd be really cute if I put on the front of the drawers chicken wire. I think that would look really cute. So, and also what I have going on is I have this old mirror that has seen better days. It's been dropped, so it cracked a little, or a lot along the corners and along the edges. So what I did was I cut down some pieces of some scrap wood, and I'm going to make a frame that's going to be like that, and then this. So it's going to go like this all the way around, and then obviously return all the way around. So that's what I'm working on. Because I just didn't have the heart to throw out I just didn't have the heart to throw out that mirror. You know, it was still good. And now yeah. So now I sanded down I sanded with 120 these pieces, and then I hit it with a coat of shellac, and now I am sanding it down with a 220 block. See you, Trevor. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. So yeah, I'm going to sand it down with a 220 block, and then I'm going to hit it with another coat of shellac, and then I'm going to let that dry, and then hit it again, or then I'm going to let it dry, and then I'm going to go over it again with the quadruple zero steel wool. And then hit it with another light coat of shellac after that. And I think that should give it a nice warmth and glow to it. Later, Trevor. Later, Tater. What's taters, precious? No, it's unusual to see me sitting here, isn't it? I'm not good at sitting. Time is it 10:30? It's only 10:30? Jesus. So did everybody have a good weekend anyway? I had to work all weekend. That is true, Mims. I had to work all weekend, so it's not like I did anything fun. See ya, Carol. Have a good night. Thanks for sticking around. I also will say that since I've been doing all these lives recently, or lately, I am now up over 1,000 watch hours. So that's cool. Emily, you just talk. Just talk. That's what I do. I just talk about my day, talk about my life. You know, talk about my the crazy antics that my kids get up to. Which, by the way, I said something today that I never thought I would say in my life. Stop licking that window. I never thought that that phrase would ever come out of my mouth, but today it did. So that's my advice to you, Emily, is you just talk. And if you're if you don't really feel like you're that comfortable just like coming up with stuff like off the top of your head to talk about, it is perfectly okay to do a little bit of like a Google search on small talk topics, and then you just have them down on top of your table out of the range of the camera, so that way when you do feel like you're stuck, you just kind of glance at it and be like, oh, okay, well, I guess I can talk about how peanuts are really a bean. Being an exec in a retirement community. Is that what you're talking about? Because the way mine is set up is I have obviously I have the health centers, which is for like assisted living, skilled care, and memory care. And yes, dietary restrictions are big on that. Like I have to follow set menus and set recipes, and dietitians got to look over that. But upstairs, for like the people who live in the townhomes and the people who are in independent living, we have a restaurant, and then we also have a pub, and those menus and recipes all came from me. So I do get to have plus I have like a grab and go convenience store type of area, and I get to put out what I want out there. So yeah, I do have a lot, and I come up with a different special every day. And that depends on like what I have, coming up to get rid of. Yes, Perry, I am a trained chef. I did 2 years of schooling, graduated, and then I did an internship for 6 months in Seattle. I also studied in France and over in Italy. Yeah. And a lot of it just depends on your crowd too, Emily. Because you got to think that you go live a lot during the day, and some of these people, they're at work, so like they're So they're paying it. They're they have you on in the background, but their main focus might be at work. So you got to think about that. So what you want to do is you just want to talk. But it doesn't always have to be shop talk. Yeah, like go ahead, like ask other people what they're working on. But like a lot of you, I know about your guys' lives because you guys, offer up offer up those little pieces of gold, not easily, but to people that you end up trusting. So, I mean, all of you know about my kids and the triumphs and the struggles, but you also all of you know, or most of you know about how profoundly autistic my son is, and just how much work that is. And that's honestly a big part of my life, which I'm very close to launching my my podcast about that. So if any of you want to get to know me a little bit more about my family life and about my and what it's really like around my house, because you guys only just see like just my shop area and like when my kids come down here. But I am just about ready to launch my my podcast about it's going to be about me, my kids, what it was like going through the adoption process, and what it's like being a single dad, and navigating the world of special needs and all that. Any of you are more than welcome to come along with me on that journey. I don't know about the rest of them, Mike, but I never get tired of hearing about your butt. I mean, honestly, your ass stories are the highlight of my day. That's sarcasm, in case you can't tell. But so my son is autistic, and his is like, you'll hear a lot of people will say, like, oh, well, what's his superpower? Like, I'm sorry, but my son, it's a disability. It is he doesn't talk. He just points and like makes sounds. I have to do everything for him. He doesn't, I mean, he's 9 years old. He doesn't, to put it bluntly, I mean, he still wears pull-ups. He knows how to use a toilet. He has done it. He just has no interest in it. So, yeah, so I have to do everything for him. I change him. I have to dress him. I mean, he'll dress himself, but if I don't give him the clothes, he won't do it. I have to bathe him. I have to brush his teeth. I have to do everything for him. And I am working with him on these things, and I am making, fairly decent strides, but it takes time. And it takes a lot out of me. And sometimes I'm really surprised that I get anything done down here. And if I can't even, the thing is that he's brilliant. I mean, he's so fucking smart. He's an escape artist. He's really good at that. So I guess if there was anything that's a superpower, that would be it. He's an escape artist, and he's really good at it. Oh, that's what I wanted to get some of people's opinions. So, on my deck, the stairs coming down from the deck to the yard, I mean, it's only like 3 steps. It's not that much. But, so he will get out, but I don't want him to get off the deck. So I want to put I want to build a gate over that step area. But it's like 70 some inches wide. I mean, it's a wide opening. And I do not know how to make a gate to close that off. So that way it can still be used and accessible when I need to get down there, but I don't want him, just because he's already taken off. So, and I don't need that. So I'm just throwing that out there. So if anybody can help me come up with anything, a lot of you know how to get a hold of me. I believe my email is in the description, so you can go ahead and give me a call or give me an email, whatever. But yeah, so it's like I have to do everything for him. But he's made some great strides. So this is the kind of thing that I want to discuss in my podcast about, you hear the word autistic and yeah, Mike. You hear the word autistic, and then everybody has their own thoughts about what autism is, and you really do. I mean, you compare it to the autistic children or the autistic adults that you already know in your life. I mean, that's just human nature. You compare it to what you know. But autism is different for everybody. Some people can, just blend in everyday life with it. My son, not so much. He stims a lot. He has no sense of danger. He has no sense of boundaries. He, for whatever reason, his way of saying hello to women is to go up and smell their hair. So if you ever have the pleasure of meeting my son, sorry, he's going to smell your hair at some point. It's going to happen. I mean, for whatever reason, he smells my feet. I don't know why. It's fucking weird. I shouldn't say weird. It's not weird. It's just not typical. I mean, the kid smells my feet. I don't get it. I find it gross, but I mean, it's not like he just face plants into them, but I mean, maybe it's something that he familiarizes himself with me. I don't know. It could be any number of things. I mean, I would love nothing So earlier, and I will tell you, this story about. I mean, it just happened to me earlier today because I'm not afraid of showing my vulnerable side. So I was watching somebody else's live, and um, and he was talking to his son, and then it so then I hopped off of there and I got into a Discord voice chat with somebody, with like a few other people, and it was, and then one of the people in there, like I could hear his son talking to him in the background, and I could tell by the voice that he was around my son's age, somewhere in that age range, and it and I'm gonna get emotional about this, but it hit me, and it got to me for a few minutes. It really, like I'm watching these two dads, and they're, these two, and they're completely separate people, and they're both talking to their son, and I found myself longing to even hear one word out of my son. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, we communicate and all that. I mean, we have our own way of talking to each other. But for those of you who are parents, like I know what it's like when my daughter says, "Hi, Daddy," and I can't get that out of him. To me, that's like, it doesn't hurt so much as it's not a hurt, but it's an ache. It's one of those things. It's like I would love, like even just once, to just hear him say, "Daddy," but and it might happen. It might. I hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. That's all any of us can do. But it for a good 15, 20 minutes, it really broke me down. It's like, I think a lot of people, they take for granted just being able to converse with their kids, even if it's just saying like good morning every day, and then hearing them even reply with like "shut up," anything. Like I would, like Emily said, like I would give my right arm to hear something from him. But and it doesn't. I mean, like I said, it doesn't hurt so much as it aches. John, why do you smoke? Oh, gee, I don't know. I got no stress in my life. But anyway. So yeah, I mean, autism is different for everybody. There's different, we don't really say different levels anymore, but he is a very high level. Very high level of care. Very high, very high everything. I mean, that is right, Mike. There, it is. It's an interface issue. I mean, there is literally, like, and I've said this before as like a joke, but there are synaptic misfires going on in his head, and that's what causes it. So I would love to get to the point where like I'm selling my stuff, and then like obviously after I'm taken care of, but give a portion of my proceeds or a portion of my profit to autism research, because I really feel it's just a worthy cause. And I understand that, Tom, and I my heart goes out to his parents. And I would love to even hear that from him. I mean, the only thing I get from him is, and I know that you guys haven't seen him as much as you do Luna, not because, how to put this nicely, it's, I'm not ashamed of him, I'm not, but I tried to shield him from, not that you guys would judge him at all, but I tried to shield him from the possibility of as much judgment as I possibly can. And yeah. But yeah, so I mean it kills me that, he I mean, I have heard him talk. I've heard him say no twice and okay once. But I don't really count that, because it was just. But he makes sounds. He makes, like, I know when he's upset. I know when he's happy. I know when he's hungry. I know when he's mad. When he's sad. When he's glad. I know my kid. But it would still just be really nice just to hear him describe how he's feeling for once. Because even though, like, I know I know that he's hungry, but I don't know what he's hungry for. No idea. And even if you like put several things in front of him to have him make a choice, he doesn't look at it. He just points. He doesn't even look at it. So yes, I would just even once, if he would just like look at me in the face and just say hi, you know. But basically, that's what my podcast is going to be about. Just the struggles that I go through, the triumphs that we do, the setbacks, the regression, and then she has her own issues. Being born addicted to meth, and that causes issues far beyond what anybody will be able to tell. Plus, she was born premature. Plus, she was born with 4 fully functioning kidneys, but the tubes coming off the kidneys weren't attached to anything, so they were just emptying right into her stomach. So it was this big thing. It was just a lot. So, but I think there's a lot of people out there that like they're ready to adopt special needs kids, but they don't really know how to go through with everything. And I'm still learning, and how to navigate social services and school systems and IEP meetings, and try not to let people taking advantage of you, which it does happen. The school takes advantage of people, the government takes advantage of people, everything. yeah, that podcast is really going to be um, more about the personal side of my life. So when I get that up and going, if you want to ride along with me on that journey, you're more than welcome to. You know, can't, you know, you gotta do a little shameless, you know, self-plugging in there, you know. But, you know, I thank God for my sister being here. I mean, she's been a godsend, you know, watching my kids when I'm at work, because daycare is outrageously expensive. Look, I'm gonna talk about daycare. Holy shit, there's a fucking racket. You know? God damn. Yeah, and not that I would think that any of you would ever judge my kid, because, you know, I'd like to think that you guys are, you know, somewhat decent human beings. But, you know, I still want to, you know, protect him as much as I can. Probably should get some higher grit sandpaper than just 220, because I think that could come in handy. You know? You would be surprised, Emily, at the amount of, like, the amount of stairs I get out there in the world. I mean, it's 2026. You know, we have... Everybody is aware of autism these days. Everybody is aware of like the more of the higher needs ones that are out there. So we understand about all of the we understand that there is a lot of, you know, really high special needs kids out there. But you would be surprised at the number of people who, and I'll be honest, you know, taking him out to eat is a chore, because like, I'm constantly always telling him to, you know, use your fork, use your spoon, because otherwise he'll just, you know, caveman it into his mouth, because, you know, that's just what he does. And I'm making progress on that, but, you know, I mean, but he doesn't always just sit down the entire time either. He likes to get up and walk around, and, you know, he'll eat, you know, a couple bites out of one piece and then put it down and then take a couple bites out of another piece. And then he'll get up and he'll stim, and his stimming is, he likes to take things and just kind of like dangle it in front of his face, because he has lanyards. and he really loves them. So that's his stim. That's what he loves. And just the amount of ignorance out there in the world that I don't know. So yeah, so I don't usually take him out to eat a whole lot, just not because it's hard, but just because I don't need people staring at him for no reason. You know? The kid's had a tough enough life. You know, being let down by your bio parents. You know, and then your own grandmother doesn't even want you. You know, and I really have no idea on how much that affected him. You know, that could have affected him, like, in ways that nobody really knows about. So, I mean, it's hard. And as his father, you know, I go into protective mode because I do want to protect him from everything that's out there. Situationally attuned. He's very sensory. He's constantly on the go. He's constantly moving around. I know he very much likes the feeling of like weightlessness. He loves being like in a hammock or anything like that. And he loves it when, because like I'll put my hands on the side of his head, and then he'll wrap his wrists around, or he'll wrap his hands around my wrist, and then I like pick him up by his head. I know it sounds weird, but he loves that. Like so much to the point that like he purposefully seeks me out so that way I could do that to him. You know? No, not at all. I don't mind at all. I love talking about my son. I love when people ask me questions about him, so that way oh, he loves being in the pool. He absolutely loves swimming. He loves water. I think it's the unpredictable chaos of the water that helps calm his brain. Because one of his favorite things to do is to get in the bathtub and just, you know, slide back and forth, and he loves dumping things out in the sink, because I think he just loves the way, you know, water or liquid looks as it's, you know, being poured out, and he can kind of see that movement, if that makes sense to anybody. He loves it when I throw him around, when I like pick him up and I throw him on his bed. He loves that. He loves I can't help but talk about them. You know, they're just as much um as much as she bugs the fucking shit out of me. I love her to death, and he has an AAC device. I mean, it's upstairs. I mean, and he just doesn't show any interest in using it. Yes, Mike. Yeah, yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, he's very much into that vestibular regulation. I don't, I just don't tend to say that because not a whole lot of people understand what it is. But I guess as you know, that's something that I can bring up so that way people know. Um, but but the one the few things that really scare me about him is his he has no sense of danger. Um, exactly, and I don't know if there's a way to correct that. Mike, I don't know if there's a because and I don't know how his feet don't hurt, but um, he walks on the balls of his feet all the time. So I don't know. That would hurt me. But anyway, he has no sense of danger. Um, so like a couple months ago when it was still really really cold outside, um, he got out and I had no idea how long he had been out. Um, because I had fallen asleep. My sister had fallen asleep. It was in the afternoon, and I stupidly forgot to turn the door alarm on the back door. That will go off when it's opened. So I didn't know that he opened the door and got out. And when I found him, he was um, well. When I first went out looking for him, he was not where I found him at, which was next door on the neighbor's deck. He was not there. So I know I spent like 15, 20 minutes wandering around the neighborhood, shouting in his name, looking for him, and I couldn't find him. So I was on my way back to the home, or back home, and I decided to take one more, and I was gonna come home and call the cops, because my kid's missing, and we live a block away from a major fucking street, so anything could have happened. But so I got back home. I was like, well, I'm going to take one more final look around the house. And I walk to the back and I look over, and there he is on my neighbor's deck, just right over there, wearing nothing but his pull up. And it's like 30 degrees outside. It is cold. And it doesn't bother him. He has, it just, it did not register in his brain that it is cold out and he needs to put clothes on. Which scares me mostly because at that point, when he finally because it just happened, like a month or so ago, around the same time that he got out, actually, like a thing about within a week. There was another autistic boy just like him. He got out, and his parents couldn't find him. Well, they finally found him in a parking lot, froze to death. So when it gets to the point that they can finally feel, it's too late. So that scares me. So anyway, I sanded these pieces. Okay. I am totally. Oh, now I understand what you mean. Okay. So I sanded down these pieces with 120 grit, and then I moved up to 220. In between these, I was doing a shellac in between everything, and so I did 120, then 220, and then I hit it with the quadruple zero. Steel wool. Then I will let these dry, probably overnight, and then tomorrow I will apply them to the mirror, and we'll see how it looks. Yeah. You see a lot of you see a lot of autism moms out there doing their podcasts, and they're their own little Pinterest perfect people is what I call them, the triple P's. How their houses are all perfect, and they're just like, oh, look how well my son did, and blah blah blah, and but you don't ever see. You see either the really high highs of their day or the very low lows. You never see just everyday life. And Beard, you brought up a good point. I know that there's a couple other autism dads who have their podcast or their blog or their channel or whatever they do. But there are so few of us from the father's perspective about it. Plus, it's not just about my son. Like I said, it's about the adoption process and going through DHS and going through that background check and everything that you got, and then you got to deal with all of the things from from Medicaid, and then you deal with occupational therapy, speech therapy, and all that, and what it's like dealing with a kid who is just a lot to take care of, and then dealing with the public on their perception of your kids, and then and then you come from it from the single dad aspect, like how crazy I was, as a single dad to take all this on and still come out the other side, especially, after having my heart surgery, having my heart attack and then my subsequent heart surgery, coming out the other side, with still being alive, and honestly, not having an alcohol problem. Not that, this stuff doesn't help, but... Well, Emily, he's got a point. There are so many of them out there that are just, they cultivate this image of themselves and this image of their family, and I'm gonna come at it with the same way that I run my woodworking channel. I'm real. I don't come across as I know everything. I'm no expert on this. it's just life, you know? Well, yeah, autism was around back then, and they did use that word, but just in like clinical settings, it wasn't that well known. That word wasn't very well known out in the world. Well, yeah, because at that point, like at that stage in time, like they did not fully understand de-escalation techniques. They they just didn't understand it. You know, and then Luna, you know, God bless her soul. I mean, Emily, I know that you commented the other night when she got a little upset and she let out that ear piercing little shriek. Oh, honey, that was nothing. That was just like the very tip of the iceberg that sank the Titanic. I mean, she gets into full dragon mode. So, like, I'm always on edge that like she's gonna act like that when we're out in public somewhere. And honestly, the only thing that will de-escalate her at that point is just let her go through it. So, like I said, she was born premature and addicted to meth, and she has all of her own issues. So, and she's also developmentally delayed. So I got her at 18 months, and she wasn't even crawling yet. By 18 months, the kid's supposed to be up and crawling around. But as you guys, and she wasn't even talking at that point. She wasn't even attempting to talk at 18 months. Which, at 18 months, they're like, at 18 months they should be crawling and even like attempting to start walking at that point, typically, and trying to start to formulate words. Normally, like, I've never had kids before, so I'm just going based on what typical studies have shown. But she's gonna be 4 here in just a little bit, in just a few days, and to be perfectly honest, she's not ready for potty training yet. It was like, I got home from work and I look at my sister and just like, oh, when was the last time she was changed? I was just asking. And then we look over and she had, leaked through her shorts. So, even at like, damn near 4 years old, she's not understanding that, hey, it's time for me to start, using the bathroom. So she's not quite ready yet. So, I'm really surprised I don't drink, So yeah, your daughter was walking at 6 months. 18 months and she wasn't even crawling. So, but that makes me feel happy just because in the short amount of time that I've had her, she has, made such huge strides, and he has too. But yeah, so that's what my podcast is going to be about. I don't want to take up all my woodworking time talking about my kids and my family, because we're supposed to be blah 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 and yada yada yada. So, I'm really hoping that tomorrow the weather plays nice, so that way thanks, Beard. I really appreciate that. Vinny, I appreciate your kind words too. Everybody, I love each and every one of you in my own little way. I love more than half of you, half as well as you deserve, but I love less than half of you, half as well as, whatever. But anyway, so I'm hoping that the weather plays nice tomorrow because I want to get outside so I can start working on the picnic table that I want to build for the birthday party that I'm throwing for my daughter on Sunday. So obviously I know that I'm not gonna have it fully finished and stained and sealed or whatever I'm doing with it. But at least it'll be there and for us to use it. Mike, we can talk about your butt whenever you want to. And Vinny, I care about you. I care about all of you from the cockles of my heart. Just deep down in the cockles, buddy. Mike, you can talk about your butt stuff all you want. Just let her rip. Actually, well, Blake, of course you two. All of you. I mean, I've gone, I've only, been around you guys since, January. And, Emily, your question. You're gonna have to ask that again. But yeah, I mean, I've only been a part of this community since January. You guys have just welcomed me in with open arms. There are, as of right now, 333 of you people, for whatever reason, actually give a shit about what I talk about. I don't know why, but you do. Night, Vinny. Thank you for stopping by, buddy. Appreciate it. Yes, by Mims. Well, honestly, Mims, it's not even 6 months, buddy. I mean, you and I have only been really connecting for what, the last month and a half, maybe 2 months at the most. So, I mean, it's been 2 months and we're already on the butt stuff. Emily, if you want to make me anything, if you want to send it on, you go right ahead. Oh my God. Sweet googly moogly. You guys are amazing. I don't know what I do. I don't know what I'd do without this community, You guys have just been you guys have been my therapy. You guys have been my Michelle, what would we do with you? You know, you're like the brother that nobody wants. I mean, I have a brother, and honestly, I like you more than I like him. He's a twat. I'm kidding. I love my brother. I love all three of them. I really love my sister, though. She's awesome and amazing. But yeah, Emily, let's connect. I can always send you my address. It is now 11:30, and I still have to eat dinner. And then get to bed because I have to get up to the lumber yard. I call it the lumber yard, but I have to get up to Menards before my daughter wakes up in the morning. Otherwise, she'll want to go with me and try. Yeah, I'm just not going to deal with that. And they open at 6:30, so. I don't know if anybody else has a Menards around where they live at, but Menards has like I find their wood a whole lot better than either Lowe's or Home Depot. That's where I go and I get all my cheap wood. You know, all my fence pickets and all my shit that. Yeah. My email address should be in my description or in my in like my channel homepage. To the lumberyard. And the sad thing is, like here in Des Moines, there is actually a strip joint that's called the lumberyard. You know, and you know their little tagline is of course, you know, where real men go and get wood. I don't know. Don't ask me. They're silly and weird. And I really need to put out another video. It has been 2 months since I put out a video. I was doing so good on getting it done every week, but I have more fun going live with you guys, you know? Let me see, actually, no, it's not. Let's see. Emily, if you get with, if you know how to get a hold of Heather B has my email address. I thought I did. Beard, do you ever shop at Menards? Menards is like a Midwest thing. Beard, do you ever shop at Menards? I love it. Because I can get cedar fence pickets whenever the hell I want. They're always running like usually like an 11% rebate on everything. I think a cedar fence picket after rebate cost me like $2 a fence picket. So I absolutely love Menards. That's where I go and get my stuff. But anyway, where it does. It's because a lot of they do a lot more business with more the wood that you would use outside than they do. I mean, they have a whole. They just have a lot. They just have a very wide selection. Um, I think the tool selection is better at Home Depot or Lowe's. But the wood selection is far superior at Menards. And I think, so a lot of the stuff is in their outside lumber yard, so you have to go and pull it yourself. But they do a really good job of loading it onto the shelves to where it's nice and flat, and you don't find a whole lot of cupping or bowing in their wood. Oh yeah, the millwork selection at Menards is awesome. Yeah, they have a huge selection of millwork. And honestly, their stuff is cheaper. They're all their wood and lumber. It's cheaper. Plus, you get the rebate and yeah. So those of you who do have Menards by you, I would suggest, not that Menards, I'm not paid by them. They're not sponsoring me in this. But I would suggest that you guys, if you do have a Menards close to you, go and shop there. It's really good stuff. And yeah. All right, guys. I think it's been a little over 3 hours. I think I'm gonna hop off of here for the night. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. Thank you guys for listening about my family. I look forward to getting my podcast up and off the ground. Oh my, yeah, and Menards. I mean, they sell groceries. They fucking sell groceries there. And household products. I mean, all kinds of just like cleaning stuff, and they have this huge selection of just, oh my god, it's just amazing. If you ever get up this way, go online and find your nearest Menards and see if you're ever gonna get up that way, and if you do, go check them out. It's amazing. But yeah, so I'll be back on tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be building my picnic table tomorrow. If not, I'm gonna get it all prepped up so that way I can work on it throughout the week. But for now, the Sawdust Kitchen is closed, you guys. I'm gonna have some fun rolling around on my chair here. But for now, peace, love, and green bananas. You guys are amazing. Love you all so much. You guys have a good night now.